Hi, it's me, Gary House. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the new Lidl Super Shoe. So last year, 2020, Lidl brought out their first pair of lifestyle trainers along with some other bits of kit. I'll be honest, I was gutted when I missed the boat and they sold out so quickly. This year I was reminded by one of the ladies I coach, Charlotte, thanks to you, in our private members group, that they were bringing out a second edition of these super shoes, supermarket shoes. They were one of the middle aisle special buys on Thursday the 16th of September, and I wasn't going to leave anything to chance. So just minutes after they opened, I was in my local Lidl down the middle aisle searching for these shoes. Unfortunately, they just had a handful of lady sizes. Now, I don't know if they were just restricting stock or some of the local Lidl lovers had been there early and got there before me. Maybe the staff had hidden them away, ready for eBay later in the day. Either way, the race was on. So I sat in the car, logged onto the Lidl website. Luckily for me, they had a handy little kind of store locator. There was another Lidl just a few minutes away or a few miles away, and I was at the next store within 10 minutes. Big shout out to the Wrexham Lidl, where the old police station used to be. I think it's quite a new store. Big, well organised, bright, lots of room down the middle aisle, but more importantly, an Aladdin's cave of luxury Lidl goods. Not only did I grab my pair of size 9s, but I also realised that they'd brought out socks and swimming shorts. So how do they stack up? Shelf stack. So the first thing that will draw people to these trainers is the price tag, just £12.99. To put that into perspective, you could get 20 pairs of these instead of the new Nike ALPHAFLYs. The first thing I should mention is I don't think Lidl have designed this with running in mind. It's not a running specific shoe, it's more of a lifestyle fashion shoe. So before we go for a run, let's look at some of the characteristics of the shoe. Now the shoe weighs in at 250 grams in a UK size 9. So I think that's pretty good. To give you a kind of comparison, again, the ALPHAFLY I think is around 210, 215 grams. The Vaporfly would be below 200, maybe 190 grams. Now, as for stack height and drop, there wasn't a lot of information out there on this shoe by Lidl, which is a shame. Maybe they'll update that in future versions. But from what I've measured, up to there, which is kind of the true stack of the shoe, given that it kind of sits inside, that for me came up as 50 millimeters, which unfortunately makes it an illegal road shoe for elites via World Athletics. That's a big disappointment to me. What that means is we possibly will not see the likes of Kipchoge running London, Berlin, Tokyo, Boston in a pair of these. Now as for drop, which is the difference between the heel and the forefront, I'm going to say it's at least 8 millimeters, probably more like 10. Now as for looks, maybe it's my age, maybe it's just my style or my fashion sense, but I have to say I'm quite impressed by Lidl. There's some nice little touches with just the subtle Lidl branding on the tongue. The uppers, which are mainly like a nylon mesh, have got a few nice little finishes, if I'm honest. There's the Lidl branding on the tongue, nice striking laces, if not a little bit too long. And the little bit of finishing material where you pull them on, that's pretty good too. I know what you're all thinking. Yes, Gary, they look great, we know that, but I'm not here to decide whether I'm going to wear them at the next Ed Sheeran concert. I want to know what they're like when you're going for a run. So this is it, the true test, the new Lidl supermarket super shoe. Let's see what they've got out on the local lanes. So I'm a little more than 4k into the run, which is more than enough for me to get some initial thoughts and feelings about the shoes. Let's start with the positives. Within the first few minutes, I was surprised at how much the shoe makes you want to run faster. So I think it's mainly down to the geometry, the 50mm stack and the big drop, which goes in line with some of the newer road shoes, performance shoes on the market. So whether by design or just by sheer look, Lidl have done pretty well here. The weight, although it's kind of mid-range at 250 grams, feels pretty evenly distributed. I don't feel like it's heavy in the heel too much. I don't feel like it's heavy in the forefoot too much. I feel like the uppers are pretty light. Again, although it's not listed on the website, I can tell you that it is a neutral shoe, so that feels pretty good. It feels pretty secure on the tarmac. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna topple over around corners. I've been on undulating lanes. Like I said, I bought a size 9 UK and these feel really true to size. They've got really good width as well, which is a bit of a bugbear of mine these days, especially on the road shoes. A lot of them seem to be too narrow. They have got good ankle support and you do feel quite secure in the shoe. I mean, I'd expect that because there's quite a lot of shoe. The sole also feels quite firm, which, depending on whether you want that kind of level of firmness, it could be a good thing. If you like the squishy feeling or the softer feeling of a kind of sole, then maybe it's not for you. That leads me to the negatives. Now, again, for £12.99, it does feel a little bit harsh to start listing some negatives, but some things that I have picked up on is, although it encourages you to run fast, and that geometry of the heel and the drop does mean that you want to run a bit quicker, like I said, the forefoot doesn't really back that up. So sometimes it can feel like you're really pushing into the ground too much, and you can really feel the tarmac through the forefoot. Now, that might just be me getting used to the shoe. I've only done 4 or 5k, so I'll have to see further down the line. But it's just something to be wary of if you're kind of a 30-minute 10k runner, 2-hour 15 marathon runner, something like that. That's it, continuity's gone, thanks Autumn. I've also had these shoes on for about an hour now. A bit of running, a bit of walking, a bit of talking, and my feet are starting to get a little bit warm. So there is some overheating there. Not sure how good the nylon mesh is at dissipating the heat. Bottom line is, for £12.99, I don't think you're going to get a much better shoe. Not only as a runner can you go out on your recovery run perhaps, or even some shorter, faster reps, you can also make a bit of a statement with them, so you can get use outside of running. You can go to festivals, you can do the dog walking, you can take the kids to school, do the school run with them. I think we'll end it on that high note. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do all the good stuff for me, like, hit and subscribe, maybe even share this video with your friends. Also, let me know your thoughts on the shoes. You might not be able to get a pair right now, but let me know what you think about how they look. Would you wear them? Would you trust a pair of shoes that cost £12.99? And if you have any questions or comments about the videos, please let me know. Any suggestions about future content that I can help you with, stick them below, and I will look forward to making the next video. I'll catch you up the middle aisle.